Yo guys, Sanjo Uchiha here, what's up? So with today's video, what I really wanted to talk to you guys about is the Boruto anime. So yeah, haven't done one of those in a while, I know. I think the last episode I spoke about was probably episode 65. So yeah, it's been a few months to say the least since I last talked about the anime. Eh. But anyway, let's get right into it. So I just watched episode 92 of the Boruto Naruto Next Generation's anime, and it was the end of the most recent arc involving the conflict between the Leaf Village and the Hidden Stone Village. Well, probably that's a bit of a stretch to say a complete conflict between two villages, but the conflict between certain members of Konoha and the stone. In particular, Mitsuki going to the stone with artificial humans created by Unuki and his partner in crime, the scientist that Unuki recruited. So, honestly, for the most part, I think it is the longest arc in the anime so far. If don't quote me on that, but I think it is. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, for the most part, this arc has been going on for quite a while, to be honest. And for the most part, it was a decent arc. Had some nice developments for Mitsuki, which is a fan favorite character, I'd say. A character that's, I'd really say, is probably the best or well received in Team 7, the current Team 7. I like him. He's a pretty chill character, pretty interesting. You can actually do some interesting stories about him based on his origin, and it kind of felt like this arc went about doing just that regarding Mitsuki's character, and it was definitely an interesting ride, honestly. And even seeing fan favorite characters, well, probably not fan favorite, but old man Onuki, after all this time still being alive. Well, of course, spoilers, towards the end he does die, which, that's it. Shinobi World losing a very big icon, to say the least. But all in all, I actually like the arc, and I think to me, it ended on a pretty good note, honestly speaking. Had some interesting philosophy about it in terms of human nature, which isn't strange. It's Naruto, so of course it's going to go into stuff like that. But yeah, definitely like the arc, but it kind of brings us back to reality since the arc is done now, which I'm going to go on to predict we're probably gonna get some one-off episodes, and honestly, I don't know where we go from here, because the anime hasn't really gotten out of its quote-unquote problem that I've talked about in 1 and 2 videos. I think I've done 2 videos on this already in a sense, and nothing hasn't really changed about the anime situation in regards to its moving forward and doing fillerish content. Now, what I mean by all this is that, okay, the anime, for all intents and purposes, does not contain filler. The anime started at a point in the timeline before Boruto left the academy, while the manga started with the Boruto Naruto the movie retelling, essentially, and then the anime eventually got to that point and retold it as well. All that jazz and blues. Of course, the anime did adapt how the manga did things, in a sense, like Momoshiki's design and all that. But the point is, with the Boruto manga being monthly, right, it kind of feels like there's just not enough content for the anime to adapt at this point. So if it were to start adapting the manga, they'd easily catch up. So the anime is still stuck in the situation where, even though it's technically they technically don't do filler because they're not adapting from any original stuff from that point in the timeline, but it kind of feels like the nature of the episodes are filler. Honestly, like, if you were to put some of these episodes back into like original Naruto Shippuden, it might as well be filler, honestly. Personally, my experience of watching these one-off episodes, it seems completely probably not completely, but to a sense, to a degree, it kind of feels forgettable, honestly speaking. um the first arc in Boruto was it's all right, I guess. Of course, the second major arc was them adapting Kishimoto's extra 10 chapters, the Naruto Gaiden chapters, which was decent. Of course, the trip to the Hidden Mist Village wasn't bad. It was interesting. Of course, we had the robbers that Chikadai dealt with. We had the Boruto movie, and we have this arc. So that's what, 5 arcs, give or take. 1, 2, yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so basically 5. First arc, then Naruto Gaiden, Mist Village, the robbers with Chikadai. Oh, this is actually the 6th story arc, and honestly, it's crazy because of the nature of the relationship between the anime and the manga. It's really put the anime into this situation where it's not really that engaging for old fans that may have transitioned into Boruto, honestly. And being 6 arcs in, like, I mean, I know it's its own thing, but you can't help but compare this to like Naruto or Naruto Shippuden. And Naruto, when it was 6 arcs in, let's kind of make a comparison here. We have alright, the initial stuff with Naruto meeting Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. We have the Land of Waves. We have the Chunin exams arc, which was a pretty lengthy one. We have the Tsunade retrieval, Sasuke retrieval, and honestly, it goes to show you Naruto back in the day when it was just written by Kishimoto and then the anime just adapted all of that. It proves that it managed to allow the viewers, it was more engaging, to say the least, if I can't describe it any other way. Like, Kishimoto really managed to craft a world where we as the viewers were interested in the characters, were engaged, and were invested in the story at this point. Now compare this to Boruto. If you aren't really interested or are engaged or interested to see where this story is gonna go, then I wouldn't really blame you, honestly. And as I said, it just goes all back to this strange relationship that the anime and the manga have. Because if you've been listening to my Boruto manga reviews, you'll hear me praise the manga to high heaven, honestly, because it's really engaging. It's especially after the Boruto movie retelling, which starts after chapter 10, the manga really starts coming into its own. The pacing is decent. There's tension, there's like overall I feel engaged and really interested in see where the story is going, but I don't really feel that way with the anime. Granted, within a lot of these individual arcs, like I mean, there is development for the characters, honestly, so I'm not gonna completely discredit how the anime has gone about things. There have been some gem of episodes like within the pile, honestly, but overall it feels like things are pretty much scattered and aren't really focused, honestly. So yeah, so for the most part the anime is still in this weird predicament where it's not really engaging the older audience. But granted, I mean, as long as they're making money, I guess, and for all intents and purposes, the anime current Boruto is being marketed to a new generation of viewers, really and truly. So I guess who am I to criticize at this point? So I don't know. The next episode preview for episode 93, I believe it's dealing with if memory serves right, because I just watched the preview not too long ago. A parent and parent and child day. So it should be interesting to see how Naruto goes about interacting with his children on that day. And I mean, it kind of goes back to what I was saying. I mean, there are some interesting episodes, well, a lot of interesting episodes in terms of how characters go about interacting with other characters. Lots of interesting, entertaining moments throughout this 92 episodes so far. But overall, the anime, to me, honestly speaking, it has really and truly failed to provide a focused look on things, or it just feels all the positive stuff for this 92 episodes feels scattered or far and in between. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about the Boruto anime to date, which is pretty much my opinion. Same opinion when it was at episode 40 something. And yeah, so you realize I have even stopped doing Boruto reviews on a weekly basis. I've kind of waited till the episodes pile up, but I guess if I've like watched episode and I've found something interesting, like really interesting, and it really affects the whole world around it, then I probably might do a video on it again. But still, granted, let me know if you guys want me to do weekly reviews again. I don't think I'd mind, honestly speaking. So yeah, but anyway, rate, comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought about this video. It's a little discussion about the current state of the Boruto anime. Yeah, and if you haven't checked out my review on Boruto chapter 31, I would say, yo, definitely check it out, because the manga hot. But yeah, see you guys in the next one.